Welcome to the Sangani Show, where we will talk about everything health, wealth, and wisdom. I came to the US in 1983 from Mumbai, India with $10.45 in my pocket and with a big dream in my heart. Now, I'm a practicing cardiologist, a businessman, an entrepreneur, life mentor, and most importantly, a dad. I have lost some, I won some. But every time I lost or won, I learned even more. And my success has not been easy, but finally I made it. And my next mission is to help you do the same. Learn from my experiences, and that is life is a business.
Hello, and welcome to the Sangani Show. And you guessed it right. My name is Dr. Bharat Sangani, your favorite doctor and the host. Life has been changing over the past decade or so. What we consider marketing is no longer marketing. And as you know, this show is all about health, wealth, and wisdom. And anybody who can bring value to any of these fields are welcome on this show. And creating wealth is no longer just creating a product and go out and sell. It requires marketing. So I get lots of questions. How to do marketing the right way? I myself am learning. As you can tell, I'm no longer a 20-year-old guy, although I do look like and feel like one, but I know it is not the truth. Besides, it is important to understand the role of marketing in today's world. So today, we have an expert with us, and we are going to call this show today as How to Find the Right Marketing Agency. And I think Micah messed up this title because I already found the right marketing company and agency. But be as it may, let's talk more about it. I have a very special guest today on our show who will share her thoughts and experiences and the benefits of effective marketing. So here it is. This is Miss Lindsay Huttner.
Yeah.
Lindsay and I met a few years ago, and it was love at first sight. And yeah, even though she has a husband, we developed a special relationship, and we still call it love at first sight.
Yes.
So welcome, Lindsay.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
A little bit about Lindsay. Lindsay is the CEO and founder of the It Crowd Marketing Agency. Yeah, you got it. I don't like the name personally, and we have multiple conversations.
He keeps telling me this.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the name.
But she's hell-bent on it, and who am I to say, right? My name is nothing more special than that. And then when you feel Arnold Schwarzenegger making a breakthrough in the whole world, I wish all the best for the It Crowd Marketing, and I started loving that name myself. The company, as far as I know, started in 2014. Lindsay's passion is to help other business achieve success with fractional marketing. I don't know what fractional marketing is, but we're going to ask her to explain to us what she exactly does. A little bit more about her and her agency. The agency started small, but has exploded as the word has gotten out. And this is how I got into meeting with her. She has a very unique way of presenting herself. You know, you and I get lots of emails, lots of cold calls. Very few we really care about. Most of them go into the deleted box. But this one was very attractive when I first got it a few years ago, and that's how the relationship started. And we'll let her explain to us what fractional marketing is. We'll let her explain us how she creates this unique touch that people get attracted towards and open that email or whichever direction she takes us to. She has now positioned herself as a national marketing expert and regularly gives speeches as well as radio and TV interviews based on the marketing. So Lindsay, hand over to you. I asked you a bunch of questions, explain a little bit about you, your company, etc., etc.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited to be in the studio. I'm really excited to be talking with you. I have missed you. I haven't seen you in a while, and so it's a real treat this morning, so thank you. But like Dr. Bharat was saying, is that my name is Lindsay Hittner. I started the marketing agency in November of 2014. And I started it because I myself was looking for something or someone or anything to really help me with my marketing. I've been a serial entrepreneur. I have been very, very blessed to be able to start and build and now sell. I'm on my 6th business now. And through that, like I said, this last business that I was with, I was looking for some help. And I knew that I loved the marketing side of things, but I was a business owner and I didn't have time for that. So I went out to the marketplace to see what I could find. And there were a few different things I found. I found large agencies to where I could come in, and because of the fact that I wasn't a Coke or a large box brand, I kind of got lost in the mix with it. They also would come to me and they'd say, here is what we think that you need to do. Here's a line item of everything that needs to happen, and here's the price next to it. And if that scope ever changed because I wanted it to change or because they thought that it needed to change, then those prices changed as well. And as a business owner, that just wasn't something, I needed something that was stable. So that didn't really work for me. The second option that I found were I could have somebody come in-house, and that is absolutely phenomenal to have. However, there's 2 different issues with that. There's the capacity issue because there's a lot to do with marketing, and so you just don't have enough time in the day. And or there's a know-how, right? So you have a graphic designer, they don't know how to code a website. You have somebody that codes a website, they don't know how to do video camera work. They don't know how to make podcasts. So there's a know-how issue as well. So that was the second thing that I found, and that wasn't really something I was looking for. And the third thing that I found were companies that would sell me what I considered a widget. And that widget is you have to have a billboard, or you have to have a new website, or you have to have social media, or whatever it is that they were selling me. And the only reason they were selling me that was because that's the only thing they did. So that might not have been the best thing for me, but that's what they were there to sell me. So none of those worked for me. I was looking for something or someone or anything to come into my business, look at it holistically, look at it as if this were your business, what would you do with it? So I want you to look at the marketing, but I also want you to look at the ins and outs of the back end side of the business. Because if we start bringing marketing into your business and you're not ready for that, then that becomes an issue and we're just wasting money. And so I wanted somebody to come in, look at that, give me a plan, then implement that plan. And if for some reason it wasn't going the right direction, for them to feel comfortable coming back and going, hey, this isn't working, let's pivot really quickly and move a different direction. And so that's what I created.
Well, congratulations again. We are very pleased. Lindsay and her company exclusively does all the work for all of our businesses. And we are very pleased, and thanks for being there. Explain again, what is this fractional marketing?
So fractional marketing, so we'll go into companies and we'll either take over the entirety of everything that they need because they don't have somebody that's in-house or they don't have other agencies that are working with them. Or there are a lot of companies that already have somebody in-house, or they already have an agency that's specifically doing something for them. And so we'll go in there and we will help them, again, with either the capacity or the know-how issue. So you can just plug us in wherever it is that
so
you
like
see
an a la
fit.
carte.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you pick and choose, you don't have to be an exclusive to Lindsay's company, but you can just pick and choose what you need from that company.
Yeah.
As you know, a lot of our viewers are entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest question everybody has when we are trying to adjust our budget, marketing just seems so unnecessary.
Sure.
And when that number shows up, everybody cringes and say, okay, how can I reduce that? So why do you think marketing is necessary in this new world? I think I know the answer, but I really would like to reconfirm my beliefs with the expert.
Yeah, sure. So I think that marketing is great. Clearly, you know, I'm coming from being a marketing agency owner. I think that it's, like I said, I had my own business and I was looking for that specifically. It's really important that you have your brand and you have it figured out and you are speaking the right way to the world. So as of right now, you have social media, you have the internet, you have all of these different avenues in order to be able to get in front of people. However, if you don't have the right marketing, you don't look the right way, you don't act the right way, and you don't feel the right way. And that portrays to the audience in front of you. And so if you're wanting to be taken seriously, you need to have all of these things in place in order to, one, be able to have them come and hopefully become a customer, to be able to send off to your sales team and to give them a one-up on the rest of the other agencies or the rest of the other products that are out there. And then afterwards, after you have your salesperson talking to them, to be able to continue to follow up with those people and make sure that they feel loved and nurtured, and then really see the life cycle of a customer change because of marketing.
Again, I'm the firm believer of marketing now. The time has changed. It used to be put an ad in the newspaper or get a billboard and your marketing was over, or call few people. No longer true. The larger the distribution channels you have and the more eyeballs look at your product, more likely that your business is going to have a better success rate of acquisition of new clients, new business, or send your product out into the market. So I started by saying that I don't know why we labeled this show as how to find the right marketing agency, because we already got one. But maybe I should change the question a little bit and say, Lindsay, what makes you a very good marketing agency?
Sure.
In other words, it is the same answer, how to look for a good marketing agency.
Sure. So, when I was looking for agencies, I told you the different types of agencies or the different types of companies that I found. I also found a lot of things that I would steer way far from. So, me as a consumer, I expect people, one, to answer the phone. I also expect them to return phone calls back. I know that that sounds really rudimentary, but it doesn't happen. And I am amazed by that. So number one, make sure that you can get a hold of the person. The second thing is make sure that you trust that person, right? And so make sure that you believe that they have your best interest. So one, do they offer all of the products that you think that you need or that you think that you may need in the future? Two, if they don't offer those products, are they able to be somebody that can help you find those products? And three, are they really in the best interest of you and your business as opposed to them and making a dollar? I would say that those are probably the biggest things that I would look for, when finding an agency.
No, that is so true. And I always say the same thing. People ask me all the time, how do you know this is going to be a good relationship or not? Mm-hmm. And I always say one thing, that every single relationship, whether it is business relationship or personal relationship, do what you say you will do, when you said you would do, and expect the same from the others. And if these two things match, that relationship usually does well. And the same goes for, as you just said, every single phone call that comes in must be answered. My previous friend and partner in this business always used to say, Doc, I don't know. I answer every single call and I answer every single email because I did not know which one is going to be $1 million call or $1 million email. I've got so many stories. You know, I love to read biographies and watch biographies. So I love to explain to our audience how many people, just by following that rule, have been successful in their careers. Now, let's go to the practical side of this business.
Sure.
Essentially, everything is now switching over to web-based, and people are doing less and less of face-to-face. Especially COVID has also made us think how we normally used to do business. So how do you think I can increase my business on the web?
Online. So there's, the web is a tricky thing. So I say a lot of times that what we do is not rocket science, but this specific one is rocket science. And so with that, making sure that one, the consumer experience when they're going to your website is what it needs to be, that they can navigate through your website is a science. So making sure that you have the right professionals that are teaching you and showing you, one, how to format that, and then two, how to test that. 2, you need to have a coder, and this coder has to be great in what they do, because there's so many different ways that you can code a website, and there's really bad ways that you can code a website, and there are great ways that you can code a website. And Google looks at the great ways, and they punish you for the bad ways. So you really need to make sure that you are doing that in the correct way as well. And then after that, now you have a website, great. And a lot of times I hear people say, oh my gosh, I have a website, all of this traffic is going to come in. Well, I usually tell them, okay, you got a new house. We're so excited that you got the new house. You built it, you're in it, you've moved in your furniture. No one knows that you live there until you tell them that you live there, right? It's the exact same thing when it comes to a website. No one knows that you're there until you start telling them that you're there. So there's lots of different ways that you can do that. We have social media. It's a necessary evil. It is now a pay-to-play platform. So before, and most people as consumers think that it's a free platform to use and to see different pictures and follow up with people. But if you're a business, you have to pay in order to play with that. The algorithms within all of the social media platforms really make it to where there's a very, very small fraction or percentage of your followers that see anything that you post. And so that's something that is revelationary to a lot of people. So working through that, I'm such a huge advocate of email campaigns. There's great ways that you can build your email list. I think you and I have talked about ways to build your email list, and it's great ways for you to actually give your heart to the people that are on the other side. And so one of the things that you talked about in the beginning is you came to us through an email campaign, and that email campaign was our COVID series. And during COVID, as all business owners, we had no idea what to do. And so I sat there and I said, I've gone through a lot of training. I have a lot of peer groups. I have a lot of resources and great people that I work with. And this has nothing to do with marketing, but let's start giving all that information out. And it's been amazing. So now we have a series called Letters from Lindsay. And 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with marketing, but it has everything to do with my heart as a business owner, being able to be transparent and show other people what they should be hopefully doing with their business as well. That translates into all kinds of things, because now you have customers or consumers that are looking at that, they're getting value from that, and they're saying, hey, if she's willing to give this type of knowledge, why would she not be a great marketing agency for us? So it's not always about you have to continue to push your product. It's be authentic, be who you are, and make sure that you're transparent to the people that you're going after.
Yeah, what a great message. And that's, I always tell people, even in the other areas, that it's ultimately what your passion is, ultimately who you are. And this is one way of representing yourself on a much broader way. Just look at this show. We have questions coming from all over the world. How would I ever had that exposure without a good marketing campaign that has been run? Trust me, I never had a Facebook account, I never had Instagram, and I still don't know what to do with it when I get on it. But the marketing agency and Micah and other people have provided me a platform where they help me put my thoughts out there. The thoughts are mine, the presentation is theirs. And that's the best combination to have. You cannot be an expert in everything which you do. And I definitely tell you that it will be hard to find a better cardiologist than me. And probably I'm as good a businessman as one out there. But I'm telling you, I'm nowhere knowing what Facebook or Instagram is, but I have a great presence. And the presence is done because I got experts who help me. So in summing this up, I think you've covered most of the areas that our listeners would love to hear about. But tell us your few parting points people should look for when they are exploring their product, exploring their services, and trying to show themselves in front of the whole world.
Sure. So like I said, there's lots of different avenues that you can go down. You can do anything when it comes to the web. I know that we talked about how a lot of marketing is going towards the web, but I still am a really big component of being face-to-face with people, going to networking events, going to conferences and trade shows and that sort of thing. yes, online is awesome, but there's really nothing that can compare to a one-on-one conversation. So making sure that that's part of your campaign as well. And what I tell people a lot is make sure that you have different facets, right? So like you're not going to have to go, and I don't think that you should go and go, hey, I'm going to do online ads, and that's the only thing that I'm going to do, because that should be what brings in everything. You know, just like you're talking about your portfolios when you're investing, like you want to make sure that you are diversified. You want to do the same thing with your marketing. So make sure that you're doing things in person, make sure that you're doing things via email, make sure that you're doing things online, through your website, and all in between.
Such a great advice. It's always doing everything right and not pick on one and ignore the other.
Yeah.
And as most of you know who know me, is I'm the biggest believer of face-to-face. I think face-to-face conversation, even today's world, does not replace anything that I know for. But other things are also important. And when I see this news, when teenagers and other people break up the relationship on a text, and I just grab my head and say, where has the world come to?
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as we all think. These are anecdotal incidences. People still do the right way. People still develop relationship the right way. During COVID, we continued to meet people, and now it is even exploded even more. And hopefully in the next 30 days or so, I hope that we will drop the mask and other requirements just because the numbers are getting better on COVID. So viewers, I hope you enjoyed this show today. Thanks for again tuning in. Please follow us on all social media. Even though I don't do a good job, I got great people who will provide you with information that will be very helpful to you. And I'm sure Micah is going to put Lindsay's contact info. If you ever want any needs from your marketing, please contact her, and somebody, I promise you, they always get back to you. And for us, go to our website, bharatsangani.com, and sign up for the Life is a Business newsletter today. And till we meet next time, see you all.